Hello, my name is Davida, and today we're going to be doing a bit of a mashup inspired by artists Betty Saar, Gerald Williams, and Dana Serrano. And we're Now, here are the main materials you're going to need for this project. An old cereal box or any soft cardboard box, glue stick, piece of copy paper. I always have an eraser and a pencil handy, a pair of scissors, a marker, preferably a black Sharpie. And last of all, for the collaging material, you'll just need some magazines and maybe if you have some art paper or scrapbooking papers, anything that's colorful that you'll be able to cut out. First step is to open up the box so you can cut one side off to use. And it just kind of peels open right here. Just like this. Now once you have your box open, you're just going to cut off one of the, either the front or the back, and we're going to use that piece. Cardboard. I'm going to put the glue on the cardboard and make sure I get it around the edges, and then in the center. I'm going to line up two at the edges, and I'll show you why in just a moment. There. Now if I turn it over, you can see now I only have to cut two edges instead of four. And trim this down. There we go. Here's my background. To create your templates, you're using a plain sheet of paper and then folding it in half. And we're going to cut this. And save. We'll be saving the large piece for the sclera, the white of the eye. Then the next piece, we're going to fold in half. And cut that. And this piece will be for the iris, which is the colorful part of your eye. And then this last piece, we don't really even need to cut. We can just fold in half, and that will be for drawing your pupil. Okay, now I'm going back to my 3 sheets of paper, and the larger one will be where I draw the sclera, which is the white of my eye. The middle-sized piece will be where I draw the circle for my iris. And then the smaller piece will be the circle where I draw my pupil. And before I do anything, I practice. Before my pencil touches my paper, I just kind of make the motion of what I want that arch to look like for my eye. There we go. Now there's one side. And then I like to turn my paper over. And then I can start working on the other side. And notice how I'm using my whole sheet of paper. Okay, there. So here's one piece. Now this is going to be the iris, and I want to draw a nice large circle on here. But before I draw it, I am going to just, again, practice doing those arching round motions. Here we go. And then my last piece, my small one. And this is going to be for the pupil. And again, this will be another circle I want to draw. And I like to draw these as opposed to using something to trace because I like the natural organic shape of them. That is to cut out the shapes. And here I go in with my scissors and I'm ready, just going to cut everything along the line. Here we go. I have my 3 pieces for my eye, and I like them. I think the size are pretty good on them. Now, I've gone through all of these magazine pieces to look for 3 that I thought that would really go nicely together, and that would also go on the background. Okay, now I have to trace the templates onto my final piece, so I can cut them out. There, I should have some lines that I can see. And now I'm going to cut them out. So now I have my 3 pieces, the sclera, the iris, and the pupil, and I'm ready to start gluing them down. So first piece is the sclera, and I'm going to make sure I put a lot of glue on the back of that. First around the edges, and then a little bit in the middle. And here's my background. Here. Now the next piece, the iris. And finally, the pupil. And here is my eye. I'm going to use my black Sharpie to start accenting the pieces. First, I'm going to draw around the pupil. And then the iris. I want these pieces to stand out a little bit better, so that's why I'm using this Sharpie. Make sure. The iris, the pupil, and around the outside of my. Now, reflecting on one of our past projects, which was Soul of a Nation, we used the phrase I am. And after I am, we thought about powerful words that express who we are and how we feel. I hope you enjoy this lesson. Have a wonderful day.